Mario Odyssey is a great game. In that great game, there are kingdoms. Cap Kingdom, Cascade Kingdom, Sand Kingdom, Lake Kingdom, Wooded Kingdom, Cloud, Lost, Metro, Seaside, Snow, Luncheon, Ruin, Bowser's Moon, Dark and Darker, and Mushroom. I will be ranking those in this video. And last, we have Cloud Kingdom. Cloud is the smallest of the bunch, which makes it much worse. It is very unfortunate, because it could have been one of the best if it was not just a battlefield. It is beautiful, but other than that, it's basic. That's why it has so much wasted potential. 2 out of 20. Ruined is just after, and it's the same as Cloud. It has a little more space, which is why it is higher up on the list. Dark Side and Darker are a bit better because of the tasks you can do in them, but they could and should have been expanded on, but sadly, it didn't happen. Dark is 4 out of 20, and Darker is 5 out of 20. In actual last place, we have Lost Kingdom. Lost, even though it is so low, it's very good. It has a few moons, and most of them are very simple. The kingdom is small, and it doesn't have much to do, which is why it is so bad. Its idea is that Cappy gets stolen by Klepto. Although Klepto can get easily skipped. You can also use that same trick to skip Klepto taking Cappy in Koopa freerunning. None of the other Koopas use that trick, so you are pretty much guaranteed a first place in that race. The only boss fight really is Klepto in the kingdom, and it's not really a boss, so that makes it a lot worse. 6 out of 20. Now we have Cascade. Cascade is very bland and there's not much to do, just like the other bottom ones. It's very vibrant and colorful. It does introduce both the moons and the Odyssey. Both are crucial to the game, so that does make it better. Although there is no challenge in this kingdom, which makes it basic. The Koopa freerunning is also very lame. No tricks except Dino Skip Skip, which makes the Koopa freerunning much less fun, because of how arduous the trick is. There's also no town. Most of the kingdoms have towns, which makes the kingdom more welcoming. This only makes it much worse, which is another reason why it's so low. Cascade only has one boss fight, and it's Madame Brood. She is really easy, which makes the kingdom slightly worse. 8 out of 20. Now we are getting to the actual good kingdoms. The first good kingdom is Lake Kingdom. It's a lovely kingdom with an amazing town in a big bubble. It's a water level, which is why it's pretty low too. Although it's still wonderful with the beauty and amazing sights to behold. The area is relaxing, and calming music always floods the background. The Koopa freerun for this kingdom is fun, but it's not the best. It has Lake Skip and one more trick jump to the goal. Very simple and plain. Still good. Lake only has one boss, and it's Rango. Rango is a minor boss. Minor bosses do make the game better, if there was still a more difficult boss. Unfortunately, there are no hard bosses in the kingdom. Still, all the people in the big bubble are very effusive once you do beat him. 1 out of 2. Yes, you need to be very good at fractions for this video. Not really. Right after Lake is another water level. Coincidence? I think not. Seaside. Seaside is an incredible kingdom with a great scenery. The yellows and the evening sky. It's a relaxing resort full of lively, cordial, friendly snails. They make the kingdom a whole lot better. At least for someone who's very gregarious. There's no minor boss like Spewart or Harriet and Rango, which is unfortunate. Although on the other hand, the Koopa freerunning, in my opinion, is the hardest in the game. If you do get the hang of it, it becomes much easier. Still, making it a challenge, which is very fun. Seaside has one boss fight, like a lot of these kingdoms. Although this boss fight might be more strenuous than all the other in the entire game. You need to travel around the entire kingdom and trigger these switches. Once you have triggered all four, then you get to start the boss fight, which is very basic. The boss fight's name is
Mollusque. Lanceur.
Lanceur. Okay, brilliant. Overall, very good. 11 out of 10. Moon is next. It's very basic, but fun. Moon is also where the ending boss fight takes place, excluding Mushroom and Dark Side. The ending boss fight is one of my favorites. Every attack is insane. Not in a bad way, though. It has cool moons, which is also the name of the kingdom. There are some good moons, like Tip of the White Spire, thanks Captain Toad's Shop Moon, Good Dog, Mysterious Flying Object. Okay, maybe there are not too many good moons, but it makes up for it. It has a nice small secret. It's not too hard to find, but it's super fun once you do discover it. If you jump into the hole below the bell on the top of the chapel, you can drop down inside. It's just like the other two entrances in the Odyssey. It also rewards you with Moon. It's such an incredible detail that makes Super Mario Odyssey just that little bit better. The Koopa freerunning for this kingdom is simple and basic. There's little room for improvement. There are only a few ways you can go, and mostly it gets straight to the point. Jump to the goal. 12 out of 20. Snow's next, and it's a great kingdom with lots of cool details, just like Moon. Pun intended. I am only talking about my favorite fact in the game. If you wear Mario's special outfit for this kingdom, that you can buy with its purple coins, you won't shiver when you are outside. This is such a small detail that you feel cool for noticing it. Snow also does have one of the best trick jumps in the game, in my opinion, Snowdram. Snowdram is a very easy trick jump, although it's fun and you feel great whenever you pull it off in a speedrun. Snow Kingdom's small element of Mario being cold and the trick jump are not the only things that make it a great kingdom. Its looks are also not that good, but it has a very nice town, which is no different than any other kingdoms. The Koopa freerunning event is very trivial. Trivial does not always mean bad. It does give you an easy break from all the difficult races, like Seaside's. Snow has one boss fight, Rango. He's a basic boss fight. The kingdom does make up for it in other ways. It makes up for it because it has Bound Bowl. The race is very fun. It's fun, although it is easy. You just have to bounce off at the correct angles to skip entire sections of the track. Like Lost Kingdom, the other racers don't do the same thing, so you are again pretty much guaranteed a first place. 12.5 out of 20. Bowser's is next. It's one of the biggest kingdoms in the entire game. It has great colors and tons of great challenges. It's a lot lower than all the other big kingdoms because it has no town and no people to communicate with. For those people who need a lot of social interactions, this would not be their jam. But this is not real life, and those people aren't actually playing the game. They will be talking to real people in the real world. Gasp noises? Of course, everyone who plays this game is an introvert. Anyways, joking aside, it's a wonderful kingdom with an incredible Koopa free running. Probably the second best in the entire game. Also, in Bowser's Kingdom, you can buy an outfit with the purple coins that is like every other kingdom. This outfit includes my favorite in the entire game, which is why it's higher ranked than Lake Kingdom. Also, Bowser's Kingdom has a lot of boss fight, which makes it a little bit better. It has Harriet, who's a bit harder than her original, and Topper. And he too is also made harder. These are not the only boss fights in Bowser's Kingdom. Bowser's Kingdom, counter to its name, does not have a fight against Bowser. Instead, Bowser commissions his minions. Wait, are they paid? He commissions them to make a mech to fight Mario. It's one of the harder in the game, but it's still easy. 13.5 out of 20. Metro Kingdom is a massive city with lots of welcoming people and nice ideas for buildings. The shapes and sizes of the buildings vary, like a real city, yet it's still quite basic. Also, the Koopa freerunning is terrible, the worst in the game. You have to get such a great time to even come close to the record. It's very difficult, although like I said, difficulty does not always make it worse. The challenge sometimes makes it more entertaining.
Well, why is it so high?
You ask. You sound like that, by the way. Well, my dear viewer, it's because of the moons and the way that it is different. It's entirely a city. That is why it's so high. But Cap Kingdom is higher, even though it's smaller. Metro has one boss fight. It has Mecha Wiggler. Mecha Wiggler is a decently hard boss fight. It only has a tank to pacify the mech. Eventually, it gets easy once you've practiced it enough. The kingdom is pretty good. 14 out of 20. Cap Kingdom is next, and it's very rudimentary in all of the ways. It's the easiest kingdom for speedrunning, and the same thing with the Koopa freerunning. It does have a town, which is why it's higher ranked than Bowser's, and the smallest kingdom that is so high up on the ranking. It has one boss. It has Topper. Topper is very easy, like I've said before, and it's one of the easiest in the game. All you need to do is knock off his hats. The kingdom is not that bad. 3 out of 4. Mushroom is next, and it has a lot of boss fights. The most out of all of the kingdoms in the game. It has refights of Mecha Wiggler, Cookatiel, the Ruined Dragon, and Torque Drift. This, of course, makes the kingdom a little bit better. Well, of course, it only makes the kingdom as much better as the boss fights were made harder. So not much. Its Koopa freerunning is very bland. It's the most straightforward. More than Moon. There are not really any tricks or anything like that, which slightly makes it worse. but it does make up for it with the boss fights. Mushroom is very colorful. It sure is a sight. Imagine looking down at the kingdom from atop Yoshi's Island, seeing the expanse of beauty as far as the eye can see. Or similar feeling on top of the top hat. Wow, I'm full of jokes today.
That was the worst joke I've ever heard. It doesn't even make sense.
Oh, you say that, do you?
Ow! What the heck, man? You can't just do this to me when I... Ow! What the heck is wrong with you? I'm never doing this for you.
That's what I thought. Anyways, it is great. 4 out of 5. Wooded Kingdom has a great idea. It has no town for inhabiting people, yet everywhere is a place for robots to live. It also has a great color scheme, and it looks absolutely lovely. The kingdom also extends far below the depths of the kingdom. It extends to deep woods. Deep woods is a place with few inhabitants. It's dark and a moist place with few moons to find. The only way to discover this is to accidentally fall off the map in a few specific areas. By talking to and around this area, this edge beside the red maze, and finally by the Odyssey. It's pretty creepy when you do find it, but it's fun once you learn your way around it. The Koopa freerunning is very fun for this kingdom, but very difficult. Perfectly a mix between difficulty and entertainment. One of the best races in the game. Wooded has 2 boss fights. This gives it an advantage against other kingdoms. Wooded has fewer, which is the easiest in the game. It also has torture. All it does is shoot lasers at you. Very easy. 9 out of 10. Sand is number 2. It's incredible. It has the most moons out of all the kingdoms. This means it has the most content. One of the reasons it's so high. It also has the inverted pyramid, which is a cool idea. It has Harriet for a mini boss, but it's not very hard. What makes up for its mega boss? Knuckle Tech. Knuckle Tech is a very hard boss. Once you've gotten the hang of it, like me, it becomes really easy. Sand does have a town, which helps it stand out from the other kingdoms without a town. The people in the town make it feel frabjous, but Sand has a very bad Koopa freerunning. It's very simple. All you need to do is ride a wire up to the inverted pyramid, roll to the other wire, and then ride it to the goal. It does not take away from the overall appearance of the kingdom, so that is why Sand is number 2. Why not number 1? Number 1 belongs to Luncheon Kingdom. Luncheon Kingdom is an incredible kingdom. It's one of the biggest. Its only competitors are Bowser's Kingdom, Wooded Kingdom, and Sand. Being so immense, there's so much to explore. Once you've explored it all, it's not that big. But no matter how long and far you've traveled to in the kingdom, it will always be beautiful. The colors contrast wonderfully. The kingdom in its entirety is completely over the top. The small town and the hills and the walls accentuate the mountain size. It is huge. Ginormous even. When you jump off the mountain to the depth of Mario's legs, it takes a full 30 seconds. When you are so high up that you can touch the stars, It makes it easy to admire the kingdom and all of its wonders. Luncheon has 2 boss fights. It has Spewert, which again, really easy, and Cookatiel. It's simple like all of the other boss fights in this game, but in my opinion, Cookatiel is the best boss fight, which is another reason why Luncheon is so good. Another reason is because of the tasks that you can perform. I mean the moons. There are some really hard moons, like Treasure Beneath the Cheese Rocks. It's hard, but not too hard to become unreasonable. Unlike Treasure Made from Coins in Wooded Kingdom. Hard moons make the game more fun, mostly like Golden Turnip Recipe 3. These are good examples of moons that make the kingdom so much better. Most people can agree that Luncheon's Koopa freerunning is the best in the entire game. I'll just let you watch. The movement is so fun and clean, which is why it is the best kingdom in Super Mario Odyssey.